On Wednesday, the Jaguars will officially start joint practices with the Detroit Lions ahead of their Week 2 preseason game. So let's talk about it. Now, before I get into today's video, I want to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, Mint Mobile. Now, have you ever thought to yourself, why in the world is my wireless bill so freaking high? Then let me tell you about Mint Mobile, who I'm partnering with for today's video. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless service for as low as $15 per month, and you don't have to sacrifice any coverage, speed, or data. They're built on the nation's largest 5G network. They keep costs low because they sell directly to you online. They essentially cut out the retail stores and the salespeople. Why should you have to pay more than you have to for access to the same network? All Mint Mobile plans include unlimited nationwide talk and text, plus lightning fast 5G and free mobile hotspot. Mint also offers a modern family plan that lets you set up a super affordable family plan with as little as 2 lines. I was able to switch over to Mint Mobile from my previous carrier, and I have noticed no difference in speeds, and my internet is just as fast as it used to be. Switching to Mint is super easy. Thanks to their digital eSIM cards, you can sign up and activate immediately right on your phone from the comfort of your own home. If your phone isn't eSIM compatible, Mint will ship you a new SIM card for free. Now, a lot of people don't like switching their phone carrier because it may take a lot of time and they just don't really feel like doing it. But most of the people that watch my channel live in Florida, and we are in a very, very inflationary period. So if you take the time to switch to Mint Mobile, you're going to be able to deduct and reduce your phone bill, and you're not even going to notice a difference from your previous carrier. And now, as a special limited time offer, you can get their unlimited plan, which is normally only $30 a month, for just $15 a month. That's 50% savings from their already low price. You can use my link in the description box down below or in the pinned comments. And plus, it also helps my channel. Thank you, Mint Mobile, for coming over here and being able to sponsor today's video. Now, let's get to the contents of this video. So this week, the Lions will be hosting the Jaguars for joint practices on Wednesday and Thursday ahead of their Week 2 preseason game in Detroit at 1 o'clock on Saturday. And I think it officially got announced that it's going to be on NFL Network today, which is pretty exciting. So, I really think that this is one of the best teams that the Jaguars could do joint practices against. Now, a big reason for that is because last year, the Jaguars lost 40-14 to the Detroit Lions. We had this really, really hot streak going on, in the middle of like late November into December into early January. But one little game in there, the Jaguars just wound up getting blown out by the Lions. The Lions scored on every single possession they had the ball. Trevor Lawrence, we got really, really scared with an injury, and we just didn't have a lot of offensive production. It was just a really, really bad day to be a part of the Jaguars. Now, so maybe with that, maybe there are some matchups where the Jaguars don't really fare very well against the Lions. So this gives the Jaguars an opportunity to go up against a team that maybe you're not matched up very well against, and hopefully, kind of capitalize on the opportunity to get better in that way. Now, the Jaguars are commonly compared to the Lions. Now, both franchises are historically bad. That's one reason why. They were both the worst teams in 2021. Both of them turned around and had winning records in 2022. Luckily for the Jaguars, 9-8 was good enough to win the AFC South, while 9-8 in the Lions circumstance didn't even get them into the playoffs as a wild card seed. So we had that going for us. And also bonus points, both teams feature big cats as their mascots. So that's fun little nugget there. Now, reasons why Detroit is a good practice team is one reason when you look at the defense, they run a 4-3 defense. So not only are you going against a different personnel, but you are also going against a different defense in the Jaguars run. Right now, Trevor Lawrence and the crew are so used to being able to go against, Trayvon Walker, Devin Lloyd, Tyson Campbell. Now you're going against a whole different crew. And like I said, a whole different crew with a whole different defensive scheme. So that's going to be something that is good. Detroit has a pretty good defensive line. Of course, it's spearheaded by Aiden Hutchinson, which has been the point of a lot of debate amongst Jaguar fans. Was the right pick to go with Trayvon Walker number 1 overall? Or should the Jaguars have taken Aiden Hutchinson? Aiden Hutchinson, kind of more of the developed pass rusher. He's a guy that got 9.5 sacks last year, while Trayvon Walker is more of a guy that people see with a lot larger upside, but isn't necessarily as polished just yet. And we're going to see really over the course of this year and next year what turns out to be the right answer in that circumstance. Now, another thing with the Lions is that they have put together, they really retooled their whole entire secondary. Look, like gone is Mike Hughes, gone is Jeff Okudah, who the other cornerback drafted in the 2020 NFL draft. We kind of feel them on that because we drafted CJ Henderson, didn't work out. We traded him for cheap, and then Jeff Okudah got traded, I believe, for even cheaper over to the Falcons. So they lost that guy. They lost Mike Hughes. They bring in Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. They bring in Cameron Sutton. They also brought in Emmanuel Mosley, also drafted Brian Branch, a guy that Jaguar fans kind of wanted in this year's draft, but did not wind up getting. So really the secondary was a point where they were getting picked on a lot. The Lions last year did not have a great defense, which probably caused them to not really be able to, make the playoffs. Was that, the offense was good enough, but defensively they weren't making the stops when they were hoping to. Now, on the offensive side of the ball, look, they have really good offensive tackles. Like Taylor Decker and Penny Sewell are going to be really, really tough matchups for Trayvon Walker, Josh Allen, Yasir Abdullah. And that's going to be a good one, man. It's going to be good that the Jaguars can go up against those guys because, right now the Jaguars tackles, while they're good, they're not as really developed as, those guys with Penny Sewell and Taylor Decker. So that's going to be awesome matchups for our edge rushers. And also, the wide receiver game is going to be good. Look, the Jaguars, we do have good wide receivers. Calvin Ridley and Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, all really good wide receivers you have on your team. But when you look at the other side, Jaguars defensive backs are going to have opportunities to go against Amon-Ra St. Brown, who has a good first couple years in the NFL. In year 3, he might explode this year. His numbers are off the charts and his potential is off the charts. Jameson Williams, while he'll be suspended the first 6 weeks of the season, he will be able to play against the Jaguars here. So that's one. Khalif Raymond is a good guy to go against. Josh Reynolds, another guy that the Jaguars are able to go against. So really, the Lions are really, really well-rounded team. They're kind of paper champions, and I don't mean that as a slight on them. I mean that in a way where you look at the roster, you say this is a really good roster, but they haven't done anything in the postseason yet. But they're a team. They're definitely a team that a lot of people are picking. The trendy NFC North team, because I don't think a lot of people want to go, oh, Vikings going to run it back. They want to go with a new team, and typically that's the Lions that they're going with. So lots of good opportunities for good matchups here. You get to see different personnels. You're seeing all around the NFL. There's a bunch of joint practices going on right now. I believe today I saw a film of the Ravens and the Commanders doing some joint practices. So a lot of it's going on around the NFL, and I really like it. I wish it could have been in Jacksonville, because I remember a few years ago going to the Jaguars Buccaneers joint practice. Really cool to go to. But unfortunately, we're not able to get that. And lastly, quarterback, you get to go against Jared Goff. Now, Jared Goff isn't like a top 10 NFL quarterback. He's kind of a weird case study where he's been he's been to a Super Bowl. He's had some good seasons, but it doesn't feel like he's the guy that puts you over the hump. I'm not even sure how sold the most non-biased Detroit Lions fan is on him. But hey, in the NFC, you don't have to have really an elite quarterback to go to the Super Bowl. I mean, when you look at it, the power between AFC quarterbacks versus NFC quarterbacks. In the NFC, you have like Jalen Hurts at the top, then maybe like Dak Prescott, and then Kirk Cousins. It's just not a bunch. Matthew Stafford maybe is a little bit older. Not a bunch of great elite guys, but so maybe he's able to get them to a Super Bowl, but he's not someone that feels like he's going to really put you over the top. But we'll see with that. Now, some different homecomings we have. We have Marvin Jones. And it's funny with Marvin Jones because last year the Jaguars played against the Lions, and they had DJ Chark on the Lions. And DJ Chark was a 4-year Jaguar. But and Marvin Jones is only a 2-year Jaguar. But it feels like Marvin Jones in just 2 years had a really, really big impact on the Jaguars, where it almost feels a little bit, nostalgic being able to see, the Jaguars go against them. So that's one to really look at. Now, also Riley Patterson, we had just traded for him, or we just traded him away to the Lions for like a 2025 seventh round pick, I think it was. Also, Divine Zebo, who was on the Jags for practice squads for a couple years. So, that's another one. And last note I wanted to mention was that, Anthony Richardson today got officially announced as quarterback one for the Indianapolis Colts. I did not want to make a video on that just because I don't think it's worth a video for me. But I do want to make a note that week one quarterback matchup, Trevor Lawrence versus Anthony Richardson, a bunch of Jaguar fans are very, very used to. Anthony Richardson, as they were former Gator, they're all Gator fans. So, familiar territory there. But yeah, we'll see with that one. Exciting that we have a week one quarterback. No Gardner Minshew matchup. I know a lot of people were wanting to see that, but we get to break the rookie in and hopefully make him have a miserable week one against the reigning AFC South champions. But with all that said, thank you guys for watching. I'll be updating you guys all throughout the week with different Jaguars videos, coverages. We'll be live streaming again on Saturday. Lots of fun stuff to come, and I can't wait to start this journey. Go Jags.